Is The Sims 4 losing a lot of players? A new survey is asking Sims 4 players why they've stopped playing the game. So does that mean it's either not doing well or they might actually make substantial improvements? Now first, this survey is very short, and again, a link in my description. Hopefully it is still open. It is just one page and one question, and it's followed by an optional page that asks for demographics, but you can skip that if you don't want to share that. Now, there are a few aspects I find rather strange about this survey, but first let's look at the question and your options, and then I'm gonna see if Sims 4 is really losing players or what this could actually indicate. Which of the following, if any, were reasons you stopped playing or have taken a break from Sims 4? Now, as you can see, there are tons of options and you can click on whatever you want so you can select multiple options. Those options include I had too many issues with gameplay performance, bugs, and technical functions, and interestingly enough, it is the first one right here. Next up is my hardware or technical situation has changed. Storylines and gameplay don't reflect my values or lifestyle. I couldn't create a sim that felt like me. The game is feeling outdated. I was not able to play the storylines I wanted. I ran out of ideas of what to do. I felt like I had done everything. I do not enjoy the graphics or art style. Mods I liked stopped working or weren't updated. The game lacks options that reflect my culture or background. Content updates ignored communities I cared about. I simply don't have time to play. I played too much and needed a break, which is valid for any game, honestly. The content was not relevant. I would rather play other games. The diversity in the game lacks the details I'm looking for. CCM mods became too hard to manage. This one makes me laugh. I was frustrated by the number of DLC, and there are not enough free updates. Now, I could personally select a bunch of these. I would select the bugs and game performance. To be honest, in my own game, I don't have tons of bugs. I know that sounds obnoxious, it's just what it is, but I think it is a genuine concern for so many players. I would also add there's not enough complexity in the traits, the personalities, the aspirations, and the overall autonomy. And as far as the game feeling outdated, I do agree that Sims 4 feels outdated in some ways. It's not really specific enough. Outdated in what way? It is really interesting they mention graphics and art style. Like I said in the past, it looks like they might be ramping to do something different with that. And we have also gotten a survey about animations too. And while I will admit there are people that definitely do feel it looks outdated, if anything, I would say the art style of Sims 4 did age better than the third Sims game, as much as I love that game. But in short, I would like to write out a whole paragraph of the problems I have with Sims 4. None of the problems I have with Sims 4 are entirely new. As far as being frustrated by the number of DLC, I find that kind of amusing. While I could see them actually acting on some of these things, what are they going to do about the number of DLC? It is what it is, and they continue to pump it out. Slowing it down, of course, would be great, but it's not like they're going to get rid of DLC as they exist. I would also say they should ask more than one question. While I do appreciate we can give multiple answers, again, the issue with some of these surveys is it's not very detailed. And finally, one last note on this rant of mine, I would also think it's pretty obvious a lot of people are not playing because of game performance, but that's just me. All in all, I would say there could be multiple reasons people don't play Sims 4, and that is valid. Now that said, does this mean that Sims 4 is dropping players? Unfortunately, I can't tell for sure. The best we have to look at is something like the Steam charts. As you can see here, in the past year, it has remained relatively stable, going up and then going back down. However, admittedly, right now it is on a downward trajectory. That said, August tends to be a slow month for games overall, with tons of people going back to school or have families that are going back to school. I would not base this on August alone. What we can do is look at yet another chart. If we look back a couple years, there was a spike. The all-time high for players playing at once was basically, I think, right around when the game went free to enter. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Now, the game going free to enter definitely brought in a lot of new players. The question is, it's hard to tell if it's actually retained them. As you can see here, that all-time peak is quite high. All in all, it is on a slightly downward trajectory, but this is not entirely unusual. I would say it's more that it's maybe not growing as much as they wanted to, rather than everyone dropping it at once. Again, it's really hard to tell for sure just by these metrics in one survey. They probably just want as many players as possible, so it doesn't mean that the game is particularly failing. On the other other hand, this could be a warning sign for them. I would hope this would be a warning sign to at least pay attention to player concerns, and I hope they actually do something about it. Again, some of the metrics, I don't know how much you can actually do with Sims 4, and that's why I'm always going to say I would rather have a Sims 5. Yes, I do want Sims 4 to be fixed up as much as possible, but to not make another main Sims game, I still think is a mistake. So let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. How would you answer this survey? What do you think the purpose is? And as always, thanks so much for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.